And let's see if this goes live. Okay, copy this link and then hop over to announcements at everyone. Some PM quickie and quickie IE and finishing up London. Oh, edit message. Have to put the link in there. Boom. There we go. Send now. All right. And let's see if here's an index. Okay, I take the and I break it. I take index 0 of my current wave and I break it. So tiny. I can't see anything. I can't see any of that. Okay. So let's pop out chat. And hey, Tushi Sushi, are you in chat? You there? You there? Just gonna scale this down and do that. Minimize that. Hey, I'll just put this. There you go. Hop in the chat. And let's do it. All right. Tony Hamilton. Yeah, buddy. What's up, Tony Hamilton? You're not Tushi Sushi, are you? Is that the same person? No. Arthritic One. What up, bro? How you doing, Steven? I'm doing good. So somebody in the Discord was having some trouble getting like a enemy wave spawner going. And Gorman Studios, yo, what's up? So I figured I would hop into Unity really quick and try banging something out super quick. I'll give myself like half an hour. I don't want to go too far into this. If I can't solve it, then hopefully folks tuning in can get some good knowledge out of this. But it seems like a straightforward enough process, unless I'm totally missing something. So we're just gonna wait for Tushi Sushi. What is it? Sushi Tushi. Where are they? Tushi Sushi to hop in the chat. Are one of you Tushi Sushi? I always forget that like folks have different screen name per whatever you're in between Discord and YouTube. So what do they want? Let me see. So this person is doing a thing, not me, lol. Okay, is doing a thing where they want all of these enemy types, and they want to. Sounds like they kind of sort of want to save themselves the time and energy of like repeating some of the steps in designing enemies. So they have, I don't know if you guys can see this, but it says like enemies. My real name is Tony Bilbrew. That's a cool name, Bilbrew. I've never heard Bilbrew. They have this system right here. They're using scriptable objects, and they wanted to like copy stuff from like arrays. And then I was just thinking like I haven't really needed to use scriptable objects because I could just do everything within Playmaker, or sometimes array maker, data maker, whatever. But I think what the gist is you have several different enemy types that have similar-ish values, whether, so it's like they have here, it's like enemy sphere and amount 2. So these are all waves. I think it's like wave 1 will be just spawning 2 sphere enemies. And then I'm imagining that these other elements below are going to be like wave 2 and 3, which would maybe spawn 3 spheres and 2 cubes, and then the third one being 6 spheres, 5 cubes, and a capsule or something like that. Maybe, I don't know. But if Tushi Sushi doesn't show up soon, mwahahaha, world domination is mine. Day 3 of 1 week RPG challenge. Nice. How's it going, Rusty Chicken? I don't know where Tushi, fuck, it's such a mouthful. Tushi Sushi is. Let me just see. At Tushy Sushi. Hey, I'm in the stream. Where are you? I'm in? Okay. You're in? Cool. All right, so let's do this. So is that right? Let's, Tushy Sushi, talk to me in the chat instead of Discord, so I don't have to hop back and forth. If you can you? Unless you'd not expose what your YouTube account is or something like that. If you can, please just talk in the chat so I don't have to go back and forth between windows. So the system might be like, you know, I don't want to go too into like, let's just put in like a floor and just put it at 0, 0, 0, and then F, and then R, okay, like this. Okay, and we'll do like a cube. Oops. Surprisingly well, sir. I am fine, and my challenge goes well also. So it's exactly like you said, yeah. Okay, it sounds like Tushy Sushi does not want to talk in chat. So we'll just do it here, and I'll hop back and forth between Discord. So we got a cube, and let's see, then you make a 3D object like a sphere, and then you make a capsule. Okay, so you have these 3 enemy types, right? God damn, it's so sensitive. I've been in Blender so much, I forget how responsive the Unity camera is. Okay, so what I'll do is I have in my scenes here, I have my enemy waves folder, and then I'll just take my capsule and make it, or let's see, should I make it this? I'm worrying about like folder organizational stuff. Fuck it, we'll just make it quick. So we'll have the capsule enemy, we'll have the sphere enemy, and the cube enemy. Okay, these are all prefabs, right? And then, so let's start with our sphere one first. So I'm gonna go into the prefab, and I'll give it an FSM, and actually, okay, so we're not even really, I'll just do this, just so we can have the visual reference. I know that we don't actually need to program any of the enemies, but like, I'm gonna give them sort of like a random float between, you know, negative 45 and 45, and we'll store this in random angle, and then we'll have them like translate. And this is just to move them. We're just gonna kind of move, like, just so when they spawn, they start going somewhere. They're just gonna be floating off in a random direction. So we'll say, we'll just use this random angle for all of these. Okay, so that's what they do. They spawn into the world, and then they kind of just, yeah. So I'm gonna copy this component, and I'll put it in all of them. In the capsule, paste component is new, and in the cube, right? Paste component is new. And let me just make sure that that's working right. So if I play this, they should all just kind of disperse. Also, this is a very janky, where did they go? Oh, they're moving so fast. I'll change the thing in a second. But this is a very janky Unity project because I broke a bunch of shit in it, so I'm really hoping stuff doesn't like start falling apart during this. It's my, you can see it's my blank Unity project folder. And it's my Unity project that I do tests in, and I'm not afraid to break stuff. Okay, so I have all the enemies there. And then you have, let's say, create an empty, we'll call this, you know, our game manager. Game manager. And then, you know, you have all your game manager-y stuff in here. But then you have your spawner FSM. Rusty Chicken says, surprisingly well, sir, and I am fine, and my challenge goes well also. Great. Brilliant. Talent trees, crafting skills, harvesting skills, merchant system done. Moving on. Brilliant. Okay, so we're gonna call this our wave spawner, right? And let's move this right here. So our wave spawner is gonna have, what is it? I wanna take a look at his system really quick. I don't have a YouTube account. Oh, man. Tushy Sushi, just make a YouTube account really quick. Don't you have Gmail? Don't tell me you use anything other than Gmail. Just sign in really quick. So I'm gonna take a look at the picture. So it's like you have three waves, And for each wave, you say an enemy and an amount type. Okay. So enemy and amount type. So Tushi Sushi, the question here too is two-sided games. What's up? Yo, what's up? What's going on? I'll post that vid later. Cool. So I'm imagining a few different ways, right? So like the way off the top of my head is that you make a wave spawner that does this, where it's like if I only had 3 waves, I would just make them each states, right? I would just say that, let me see, what is it again? You have the enemy and the amount, right? So you would just do like a create object and then like a state loop. And this would go at the bottom, and this number of loops is however many enemies that you want to spawn. So you do like, what was it, like 2 in the beginning? So you want 2, so you do this, and then the finished event would be next. And you do that, right? And then that just creates the spheres, right? So that's the simple way of doing it. And I could just copy and paste these into each of these states, and then say, okay, well, instead of spheres, or yeah, we do want spheres still, however many objects that is. And then you could just have it like go through another state for the other object type. So like in this one, we'll put a cube instead of a sphere and say we want like 3 of these. And this goes here, and instead of 2 spheres, you do like 3 or something like that. And then you do this, right? And then you do that. So so I have a wave system that when I run it right now, it'll make these 2, and then on the second wave it'll do this as that. And then if it's a wave system, you'd have little steps in between this where it's like here you do like wait for enemies to be dead, and you'd have like there's so many ways to do this, but I'm just gonna say like a bool test where like this like wave over, and this is checking every frame, and only when it's true does it send off next, right? So when every enemy is dead, this can get sent off and it'll go to your next wave. So this is wave 1, and then this is wave 2, etc., right? So this is one way to do it. And now this is a copy and pastable thing, right? That's one way to do it. And that's a bit more hard-coded. Two-Sided Game says, I'll post a vid late. What you doing here then? So Tushi Sushi was having some trouble getting a wave spawner up and running, and I just wanted to show that there's like some pretty simple solutions to that. So let's see what Tushi Sushi is saying. I don't have YouTube. Okay, so that's one way. The other way is to templatize it. I add every enemy to an array when it's empty. Wave is over. Yeah, right, exactly. So you do something like, array add, and array add, and adds it to an array. And then in here, instead of a bool test, you can get like array length, and then you get the array length, and then you do an int test, an int compare, that says, this is the length of your array. So like amount of enemies underscore like A, because there's like enemy A, enemy B, or a better way to do this might be something like amount of sphere enemies, right? And then you do comparing the amount of sphere enemies to 0, and then once that's equal or less than, then it goes next, right? So this is check for all that to be 0. And then let's see, what else? When the enemy dies, I send an event to the manager that removes whoever died from that array. Right, exactly, that sounds good. Using event data. Right, you can even just, yeah. You don't even necessarily have to use event data. That could be a pretty straightforward way to do it. Yeah, event data is fine. That's a straightforward enough way of doing it. I personally would use more setFSM things, because with event data, there's this weird thing that happens where Unity can only kind of carry event data like, I want to say there's like only like one little package of information that can be sent per frame. And so if multiple things happen on the same frame, Unity doesn't let you, like, it has to be, I forget what, I'm honestly not too sure on the specifics of that, but a lot of times I'll end up just using setFSM and getFSM actions. That way the information is, like, with certainty delivered. I use the same method for creating my road. I did set vector 3, left y, z values, did x as length of the road, and then road tile, then did create game object road and instantiated at the location. Right. Yeah, kind of like for infinite runners and stuff. So this is one way to do it. I'm trying to think of like what the other templatized version is. So let me see. You could do, what's the way to do this? You create an object, you add it to an array, and you loop the state, right? So it just creates them. And I think maybe what you do is, let's see. Because I'm trying to think of how you would do like an infinite. I have a feeling that might be where Tushi Sushi is wanting to go. If you wanted to do like an infinite wave spawner, and you make some sort of system that has incrementally growing numbers for each wave. The way I do Unreal, basically I loop every second and spawns an enemy every second. Every second you're spawning enemies? Wait. I loop every second and spawns an enemy every second, removes one from the amount. When it's 0, I remove the enemy type, so it starts spawning the next. That's why I get index 0. I get that, right? That's like the same thing where it's like, wait until there's no enemies left, right? 1 sec, 1 enemy. Every second you're spawning an enemy. Is this like a bullet hell game? It's funny. Plays AP, glad to see you're still going. Learned a lot about Playmaker from you. Thanks. And yeah, I'm gonna wrap this up pretty soon, I think. I said I'd finish the Playmaker stuff by 3 o'clock, but then after that I'm gonna hop over to Blender to finish MI6, because look how far we got. MI6 and then even last night after the stream, I came in here and made the little entrance to MI6 and the elevator. So looking good. I just want to get all that subtexture, but I'm just gonna help Tushi Sushi out really quick. Let's see. Yes, just you don't have to do this. I can try hard myself. So Tushi Sushi, is it though that you would want like an infinite spawner that just kind of keeps going and going and going? Because I can think of other wave systems too. Like there's so many ways to do a wave spawner. Let's see what Tushi Sushi says. I also might be assuming gender if I said he, in which case I apologize. I meant to say they. If it was infinite, it would be easier. Yeah. So yeah, like I was gonna say, like if you want it to be infinite, I might break it up into several different systems, but I'd like to have control in the amount per wave. Right. See, this becomes like a design question too. Like, this isn't a matter of like, I mean, yeah, there's definitely simpler and more complicated ways to do it. But for example, right, let's just run an example really quick. If I wanted to make a wave spawner that incrementally added enemies to a wave, depending on like how well you're doing or something, I guess that's the question. Is like, I don't even really know how wave spawners work in a, like what the logic is. Technical shit aside, like what is the logic behind wave spawners? Okay, so it's like you spawn 3 spheres. Now you spawn 2 spheres in the beginning, and if you defeat them, then maybe it's like a points-based thing. Oh, is that how we spawn? I'm trying to think of what games I play that are like that. So I think 10 waves you win, for example. Well, if it's 10 waves, then you may as well, or I guess, I don't know. Oh, like defeating each chunk of an enemy is, or defeating, so it's like if I spawn 2 enemies in the beginning, then that first time says if you defeat all those enemies, that counts as 1 wave that you've destroyed. The thing is, I've never made these kind of games, so I'm getting used to the logic myself. The way I do it, every time I pass a wave, I add 1 to the wave counter. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, that's what I needed to know, is that you have a wave counter. So every time you pass a wave, you add 1 to the wave counter. That makes more sense to me now. So I think what you have then is not necessarily a wave spawner, but you have I mean, I guess you could do it here. I would break it up into smaller systems. That way you have more control and it's more modular and everything is just cleaner and simpler. You might have something like a sphere wave spawner, right? Let's call this like sphere spawner. And actually, I'll keep wave spawner there. I'm just going to deactivate it. I'm going to add a new FSM and we'll make it there. So this is old, don't pay attention to me. And this one will be like the sphere spawner. Okay, so for this one, you might have something that's like, you have like a create object, right? And you have a loop state for sure, right? And then you have the array add, and then you have another state with the array length and the int compare, right? And so this is wait for spawn completion. Okay, and this one is create next wave. I meant to say wave completion, sorry. Wait for wave completion and create next wave. So you kind of just go back and forth between these states, I think. And you might have a different start state where it's like, if this is your start state, just call this like initialize, right? And then you have like a, let's see, create next wave. I think you could even do where I would just call this like enemy, or yeah, enemy spawner. I think you could templatize this. So it's like if I right click and then save template and then call this like enemy spawner. Yes. And then what you do is these variables, so in create next wave, the game object that you're creating will be called just enemy type. Parent spawn point, I guess that just kind of doesn't matter. Or I guess, yeah, it does because it's a template. So the spawn point will be, we'll create a new one, spawn point, store the object in last spawned, and then add to an array. Let's see, we'll have this array called enemy array, and it's for game objects. And then this loops will be number to spawn, or we'll call this spawn count. And then the finished event will just be next, okay, and then it'll go here. So all these get variables because, well, let me finish this section, okay. And you go to wave completion, and then you check the wave enemy array. If the length, we have this, call this array count, or number of enemies left, running every frame, and this is running every frame. And we're checking number of enemies left, comparing it to 0. And if it's equal, then we get sent off to next. Sometimes I do less than, just in case there's some weird, funky logic I missed that makes us go into the negative. But then here you'd have Q next wave. Something, I'm kind of already seeing that maybe you would do, well, what is it? Because there's different enemy types. Q next wave, yeah. Something along the lines. I think this will give you the basic idea. Let me. Using the wave counter, I pick enemies from the wave array I made. Okay, so in this one, you know how over here we have this loop state, this spawn count? You would do like a set int value that changes your, or no, you wouldn't do a set int value. You do an int add, and the int value is spawn count, and then you'd add whatever that increment is. So you'd add, like, if you wanted, or it doesn't even have to be an int add. You can also do like an int operator. You know, like you could say spawn count. I was gonna do multiply. Maybe, okay, because that's gonna get out of hand fast. Maybe you just do an int add. Whatever. All those actions are there for you to figure out your own math for whatever your preferences are, right? That's totally just your taste. But for simplicity's sake, right now before I spawn 1,000 enemies, I'm just gonna do adding, let's say 3 every time, right? So you do that. You say that the spawn count this next time should be 3, and you can put that like right here, and then say when it's finished, you can create the next wave. And so by default, the spawn count could be like 2, right? So at least 2 start in the beginning. And I think that's it. I'll add a finished event to this and then send off to here. Now, the reason I made this into a template is so we can use this to spawn different types of enemies. This way, let's see if I can do this. So in variables, the enemy array, okay, that's fine. Enemy type, this is an input, so now it's exposed up here in the FSM. And this kind of starts looking more like your scriptable object setup, right? So you can kind of just drag and drop shit in there and like, yeah. And then Tony Hamilton says, I'm here just listening. Right on. So I have the enemy type as an input. You have the, oh, you know what it is? This right here. Or actually, Q next wave. This add part, this is, instead you could change this to a new variable called like amount to add, right? And then you could make that an input too. I think these are some of the ones that you'd want as like modular. I'm again, like I've never really considered the logic behind wave spawning in games, so I think this is sort of like the meat and potatoes that you'd want to use. I'm pretty sure that with some of this you'd be able to build whatever you want. Number of enemies left. Spawn point, you might want to do that too, right? You could just set that somehow. Spawn count 2, at least to begin with. This could even kind of be, well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. Let's see. Yeah, number of enemies left, last spawned enemy array. Okay, good enough, I think. So what I'll do for this one is I'll delete all these guys from our scene. And then in our game manager here, I'm gonna get rid of this old FSM. And the amount to add, I'll change this to 2, and the enemy type, we'll do spheres first, and then the spawn point will be, you know, you could do some shit like 3D object, cube, and let's remove this box collider, and we'll say that's where the sphere, or I guess, good logic, Steven. Yeah, make spheres spawn from a cube. Okay, so this is the setup. Spheres come from spheres, cubes, so here, like, in this spawn point for the spheres, I'll drag in this sphere game object, and we'll call this one, like, you know, sphere spawn point. So that's where spheres will spawn from. And let's check something. I think I did miss something in my logic, though. No, I didn't. Okay, so the other thing I'll have is, just for my own sake, I'll have like a, let's just do like a UI button. What time is it? 2:58. I have 2 minutes to finish this system. Okay, remove, or I'll put it like kill sphere. Come on, I'm up against the clock. I do miss the hecticness of like game jam lifestyle, so this is kind of scratching that itch for me right now. I'm gonna put this right here. Okay, and kill sphere, and when we click it, you know, oops. Wait, did I? Yeah, okay, yeah. And then make this UI click, and you do like a send event. Trying to think of how I would get that guy. Where is he? So the game manager, this is the, what is it called? The enemy array. Okay. Yep. And then in here, you would do array get, or no, you do get FSM array. It's called this. Oops, no, that's the FSM name. Sorry. So you're just saying, hey, FSM array, give me your dude. We'll store him in our own shit that's also called an enemy array. Add, it's a game object array. And we're gonna store the value in enemy array. Okay, so we have that here. And then what you wanna do is like, array, which one is it? It's like array remove, is that my, yeah, you do an array remove. So from the enemy array, you're removing, well, I made a button to kill things, so I'm just gonna, I'm gonna have to do something kind of weird. Shit, it's 3 o'clock, fuck. Array remove, and then the value would be like, you know, you could do array cast, or I would do array cast in this example thing, where the new variable would be like enemy clicked, you know. Shit, I should make this functioning, right? I can't make this too theoretical. Okay, so like, oops, yeah, we want that still. Oh, duh, I should just click on the enemies. Let's do that, let's do that. So I'll have this, I'm gonna copy these things over. And I'll take like the sphere, and in its own FSM, we'll call this like kill, edit, and then paste these states. And I'll have this on global transition, system events, I think it's mouse down, right? If I click on this game object, pretty sure that'll work. I rarely use that one, so we'll see. Okay, so mouse down. That's if I click on the sphere, this will happen. We get the FSM array, and then we array remove this, our own guy, so get owner. I don't even necessarily have to do this, but I will. We'll put like this sphere, right? So the array removed, it'll be this sphere. I'm gonna get rid of this variable because we don't need it, we're not using it. Targeting our enemy array, and that's gonna be from like, you know, your game manager, which is gonna be like a global variable probably. We'll call this our game manager. Game manager, and let's see, what is it called? Game manager, enemy spawner. Copy this. That's sphere spawner, right? So I'll call this like sphere spawner. Oops, sphere spawner. Okay, so this is sphere spawner. It's using the enemy spawner templates, but it's called the sphere spawner. And I guess in this way, you'd kind of want potentially, let's see, get owner, new global variable, and call this one sphere spawner. This is one way to do it, right? You can also put your each spawner type. It doesn't have to be a global variable. I'm just doing it because that's a lickety split answer for me right now. And I think the variable will be store game object sphere spawner. Oh, no, I can't do that actually. Let me see. Right. I have to do sphere spawner, spawn point, get owner. I'll just do this right now so you could see how the one enemy type will be doing, because it's just an additive process after this. In sphere, I would have kill. By the way, while I'm here, I'm just going to change these to -3 and 3 so it doesn't go all crazy. And then in kill, over here, game manager, FSM name is sphere spawner, variable name is enemy array, copies the values, okay, puts them in there, and then we have a set FSM array, right? So then you change that as its new value. FSM name is sphere spawner, and it is called the enemy array, and the index is we're not setting. Oh, I put set FSM array item. Sorry, I meant to drag this one in. Okay, variable name is enemy array. We're removing, or yeah, you're removing it by setting it with that value. Sphere spawner. Okay, and send event. Actually, you don't even need to do that. We're not even using a send event. See, I did it a totally different way. You could totally use that send event method. But, yeah, so that removes it. And then I think what you could do after, I'm just, like, again, pool your objects, people. But I'm just going to do, not create object, destroy object. When you're making things and destroying things, more often than not, you do not want to use this action, the destroy object action. But for smaller games or quick and easy solutions, you could do this. Game object, this sphere. Okay, so at the end, it'll just destroy itself. I think that's it. Array remove. Let me see. I have this fucking, I can get rid of this kill sphere thing. And where's my main camera? Let's do mouse look and translate, I think is how I've done this in the past. I'm just trying to make like a simple free look thing. 1 and 1, and then minimum, I'm just gonna change these to none. Mouse X and Y. translate and get access. Sorry, I'm just doing something because I kind of need to move around. Actually, let's see if there's an easier way to do this. Maybe I could just move the camera. Sorry, I'm trying to teach you how to build a system, but also remembering that like it doesn't just exist in a void, and I have to make the mechanic of destroying things as simple as possible so I could just focus on the actual thing I'm trying to teach. I think this, if I can click them fast enough before they exit frame. So I'll just make this view a little bit wider so I can click on things. Okay, let's try that. So they should all be spawning from there. And I should be able to just click on them. And let's see, let's just try it. How much time am I going over? 7 minutes. Oh fuck, I forgot I added programming to this camera. Disable that. All right. Okay, and then I can click them. And then that one went underground though, so I fucking totally missed my chance to do it. Okay, and also, what did I get here? Can only copy with the same elements. Oh, did I not? My bad. Okay, this is game object. And then in sphere, I want the sphere, right? Enemy array, game object array. I wish I had a game that could automatically give me some of these base features. So I guess I should put it like -1, because my problem right now is that they're my just dispersing enemy. You know, enemies usually run towards you, and it's a lot easier to just kill an enemy when you have that system set up. But I'm over here fumbling over just trying to make it so I can see them. I guess I shouldn't have them moving on that. Okay, here we go. So I can click on that, and what does that give me? Sphere, clone, kill state, can only copy arrays with the same element types. Found, unknown, and game object. Oh. Wait, was that from? Well, it still runs, right? Yeah. And I can do that, and I can keep playing. And let's see what happens in here. Ah, yeah. So I'm making those null, but not readjusting the array size. Gotcha. Okay. Array. So I was using array remove when what I should be doing is I wonder if that's it. Is that what it is? Array delete at? Nope, not array for each. Array delete at. And then you do like array get, or what is it? Contains. Get its index. So you'd get this sphere, and then you could store its index in my index. Here, my index. Is that what it is? I forget what the difference between like delete and remove is. I know one of them is like, it sets it so it's a null value, right? Which is happening right now. So I think that's array remove. And then delete, is that the one where it removes the index entirely, and then so the index length becomes different? I always forget which one's which. Set the value at an index, must be between 0 and the number of items. Something like this. So, oops. 1 second. Okay. Let's try this one. I think that might be it. If not, so I don't have to go through these again, because I always do get kind of confused whenever I come to that. I might just use an int value. Array delete at, let's see. Okay. And let me check now if that dynamically, so the thing is, I never even did the array add part, that's why. There we go. Array add. Last spawned. My bad. I totally missed that. That's what happens when I'm in a rush. Okay. And click it. Okay, and then in game manager. So it still has the null and sphere. So I don't remember which one. You could find out yourself which action you would use to just resize the array while removing things at it. Which one was it? This drives me crazy. Like, I definitely see the value in both, right? Like, sometimes you just want it to be null because you want the index list to remain the same. But what's the one where it sets all items in array to the default 0? Okay, contains. Delete at, that's at an index. That's what we just used for each. Get next, get random. Insert, no. Length. Remove an item from. Okay, remove all. Is it just resize? Let me see. I'm so going over the time I said I'd give myself for this. Okay. So in that case, what I'll do is leave that part up to you, since it sounds like Goofy King says hello. What's up, Goofy King? Long time no see. You could figure out the array bits, but for this example, I'll just use int values. I should have kept this way simpler. So instead of array add, you do int add, and I'm gonna do this real dirty right now. You should be using getFSM and setFSM ints actions, but instead I'm just gonna make a global variable called number of spheres. Don't use global variables the way I'm using them right now. Just using them for this example. So I int add for the number of spheres, right? And then when you kill a sphere, that's where I'll have it just do. I'm just gonna remove all this and say int add -1 from number of spheres. Okay, and then it destroys itself. So, let's see how this works. I feel like I don't even need this fucking floor. Oh, you know what I should do? I'm so dumb. Instead of having this fucking thing that makes them move around, I'm just gonna give it a rigid body so they could just roll around and shit. Okay. Let's see if that plays better. Your last devlog is amazing, man. Best quality video. Thank you. It was fun to make. Oh, shit. Wait, hold on. Okay, why did that happen? Thank you, Goofy King. It was fun to make. Okay, so I got disabled because... Why? Let's take a look. It ran through that too many times. It creates the next wave. Wait for wave completion. Oh, duh. Because I'm still using this array. Okay, so instead... we're checking number of spheres. When that's 0, then go. Okay. Very funny. Very, very, very funny. And in fact, the global of count number of spheres, like that, add 1. Yeah. Okay. Oh my god. Okay, so where's the camera at? I'm gonna move the camera a little bit closer so I can actually... All right, so if I get rid of that one, wait, do they not still have the... Okay. Oh, because that top one, okay, and then I kill that, right? And now that's 4, and I delete these. Oh, shit. Hold on, don't go. Okay, and then I kill these boys, and then now like 6. Yeah, you see, so now incrementally they're coming in, right? All right, and that's how it works. So I went 20 minutes over than I should have. But you get the idea now, right? So, I mean, even I guess to kind of just like, was it Control D, and then let's just do like this, like that, Control D, Control D, what the fuck, Control D, E, W, D, and then I could just put this inside of here, and I guess all of these walls should just be smaller, like this. All right, and then directional light. How do you fucking E? Make it just so I can see everything. All right. The worst part about like tutorializing thing is having to set up all the other systems just so you could show how one thing works, you know? Like that, even when we're making the official Playmaker tutorials, it's always about like, how do you spend less time showing people how to do things that are not actually the thing that you're trying to teach them? Okay, here we go, this should work. I mean, it already does work, but now we can see it more clearly illustrated. Here we go. Gonna hit, or you know what I'll do too, is the sphere, I'm just gonna fucking change its like material. Let's material glowy, and it's gonna be unlit color, and fine, doesn't even fucking matter. All right, and oops, pop it on there, sorry. There we go. Oh, god damn. Okay, so that's your first wave. Okay, kill that enemy, kill that enemy. Now there's 4. Kill that enemy, kill that enemy, kill that enemy, kill that enemy. Now there's 6. Kill that enemy, that enemy, that enemy, that enemy, that enemy, that enemy. Now there's 8, etc., etc. And it just keeps going up. Oh, some of them are falling out of there. So you get the idea. And now what you could do is you could tie that system, now that that's templatized, right? Like you could take your sphere spawner, you can add a new FSM, and this one will be called your cube spawner, right? And then for this one, you're using that same template, the enemy spawner. And in here, you would just drag and drop your cube, and then how many it increments. Maybe this one only adds 1 every time. So at the beginning, it's like not starting with enemy or something, not starting with anything or something. And the spawn point, you know, you could change the spawn point. So this one spawns from the cube, which is, I don't know, over there up in the sky. And now you could drag that, oops. Now you can drag that in here, right? So now you have a cube spawner. And then I think because, yeah, I was like rushing through this, you know, your int add right here, this would be like a set FSM thing where you would have like set FSM int. And the variable name is what you would change instead. So like you would have like FSM name and variable. You would call this like type count int, right? And then you'd set it with however many you're adding. So this new variable would be like number of enemies, and you're adding 1. And then you set it right here, number of enemies. Yeah, so that could be an exposed thing now too. This FSM name, input, type count int, input. Like variable name. Right, so that way you could use these to target specific FSMs. You could say, or specific values, I should say. Right, so you would have like a third one called like enemy manager or something like that. And in here you would have the int value for number of spheres, and you'd have number of cubes, and yeah, I'll just copy and paste these. So for the number of cubes thing, that's what this is. Enemy manager, that's what this is called, the FSM name. I guess this one didn't need to be an output. If it's the same thing every time, I could have just typed it in inside there. But the enemy name thing, that's different, right? So you could have this in here instead. So that's an output variable. Number of spheres, right? I guess I should just do that, right? So we don't get confused. Just put that, enemy manager. Number of cubes, blah, blah, blah. And then the sphere, you'd have this, and you'd have like get FSM int, and then you'd have a set FSM int. Okay, and the FSM's the enemy manager, I think, right? Yeah, and then the variable name is like number of spheres, and it'll be the same thing. Int add number of spheres, brilliant. And set FSM, see variable name is number of spheres. It's in the enemy manager, set value with number of spheres. And then I guess you would have, like, the game manager itself would have get owner. This is an okay practice of creating new we'll call this game game manager wave tutorial. This is an okay practice, right? To store your game manager as a global variable is very chill. I do it all the time. So in my sphere, I could target the game manager wave tutorial. Same thing here. Set value, number of spheres. I think that's it. I'm trying to think of what could be templatized here too. So if I just do number of enemies, this enemy, I think that's kind of all you'd need. And then for this would be a new variable called number of, and then in brackets like enemy type. And this could be an input. So that way that's modular too. I'm trying to give you the modular version, so you could basically have like a really simple, streamlined, and like infinitely scalable version of this. Number of enemies, variable name here, same thing, number of, and then enemy type. And I think that's it, right? So now I could take this, save template, and I'm just gonna call this, like, you know, mouse down, kill enemy. Yes. Okay. So I should be able to go to cube and remove that. Let's give it the glowy shit. Let's see. Here. Add an FSM. And then this one will be using mouse down, kill enemy. Call this number of cubes, because that's, I think, the name of the FSM. And then the sphere was number of spheres. And what else? Did I not add the glowing material? Oh yeah, I did. Okay. It just didn't update. Okay. Cool, I think. Let's see. Maybe we should turn this into an official Playmaker tutorial. I'm already this far, right? Tony Hamilton says, hey, Steven, when choosing between Bolt and Playmaker, people were saying that Playmaker couldn't handle complex game mechanics. What are examples of complex game mechanics? Complex... Like, what wouldn't you... I remember the example that Jean Fabre and I were talking about was that you might not want to use Playmaker to make a chess game, which is like a sort of deceptively simple, deceptively complex game. And yeah, it's like, it's games where you'd be using sort of like, I don't know, it's weird because like Playmaker is constantly growing and it does use all that like get and set property shit. So if you're a game dev who is writing a bunch of stuff in C#, right? Or if you're in, or even if you're in like Unreal and you're writing a bunch of stuff in C++, whatever you're making your game in, if you're using modern engines, modern open engines, open-ish, like Unity and Unreal or Godot and stuff like that, odds are you're getting plugins from other people, or most people do, right? Like it's kind of, I don't know. It's like it's very fringe case if you want to do everything yourself, right? If you want to build your game from the ground up, like everything, you're only a step away from just saying, I don't even want to use Unity or Unreal. I want to build my own game engine. So the closer you get to that spectrum, the less I have anything to say to you, because it's just like you're so just on the fringes and you're a very special case. But basically for everybody else, even AAA studios, it's not like they do everything in-house. Like GTA didn't make the Havoc engine, right? The physics and dynamic animation stuff for GTA, like they didn't make that. That's third-party stuff. And same thing, when you boot up a game and you see all these logos on the bottom of the screen, that's all their that's called middleware. It's like them contracting people out to make other systems for their game, or just to take systems that people already made and then put them in their game, which is the sort of like professional equivalent of them going to the asset store. It's their version of going to like the search bar and saying like, well, I don't really feel like programming my own, I guess in GTA's example, like dynamic animations and physics systems for characters, so I'm just gonna type that in, and then they find, oh great, Havoc, and then they install that in their shit, and it's kind of plug and play mostly, right? And then it's about talking to that system. So with that in mind, when you're asking like what are examples of like complex game mechanics and like what Playmaker or Bolt or whatever can't handle, the answer is like nothing. Like, I mean, the answer is there's no thing too complex, because presumably you would take some other pre-existing system for something that's quote unquote too complex, but do everything else with Playmaker, right? So it's unless you had beef with that system to begin with, unless you were like, oh, like if I wanted to make a chess game, I would probably go find somebody who already made like a chess system, right? And then, or some type of other system that has like a database to draw from, because I think that's pretty much how like chess games work, is they have like a database of possible move sets. Chess games essentially are like giant logs of every move ever made, and then they test their odds against like what they think you might be doing, or like what would be best in that single move, because there's a ton of moves that you can make in chess, but there's still a finite number. So they could draw from a database and they could do it much more quickly than a human being can. And nowadays that isn't even really that much computing power. So I would go find a system that either is specifically just straight up a chess system, or like some system that I could repurpose to make a chess game from. And then what I would do is use Playmaker to build everything else around it. Like I would use Playmaker to kind of like build like the level selection, the main menu, whatever other extra features that aren't exactly chess related, or even, to be honest, like I would make the whole like dragging and dropping the chess piece part with Playmaker. I would do like literally everything else with Playmaker except for the sort of like the computer chess AI part, right? Yeah, because even the thing that always comes to mind is we have all that sort of machine learning shit now. Like in Unity, you could teach like cars how to drive themselves. I've seen a million devlogs where somebody's like, hey, I'm using Unity's new machine learning thing where like I taught a car how to go around a track, and they show the iteration process where the car is like crashing into walls, but over enough time the car learns how to drive and avoid walls and get to the end. And that script or whatever it was, that component, it's like a series of components, I believe, those all have properties that you could still use get and set properties with in Playmaker. So I could do everything else with Playmaker and then get to that machine learning part where like cars are learning how to drive themselves, and just take all the values somebody already set and manipulate them on my own using Playmaker. So the ceiling is relative. And it's kind of about like, it's about how much you expect to do by yourself to begin with. So I think it's kind of, the conversation itself, I think, like what the conversation people are having about like what tools to use, I think it's kind of weird and meta, because like you should be asking yourself if you're asking the right questions to begin with, if that makes sense. Right? Because a lot of people have this thing in mind where it's like, wait a minute, like, but can Playmaker like make a chess AI like by itself? And is it conducive to it? Because like, sure it can, but like maybe it's not conducive to it, right? Don't want all these like states and shit. Maybe you use ArrayMaker and hash tables, maybe something like that. But then you're starting to learn like JSON and shit like that. When in reality, it's more like, yeah, but if you were programming in C# or C++ or whatever the fuck, would you have even wrote the chess AI yourself then? You know? And how often, if you even look at studio productions, how often are they even doing that? So I hope that answered your question. It's a very sort of, it's honestly frustrating, because you see a lot of like, you know, just misinformed people who have really sort of different ideas of how games are made, as opposed to how they're, like, their idea of how games are made are very, very often not how games are made. And I mean that both on an independent level and on like a professional studio level. So, good question. But let's check if this cube spawner thing works. Is it? Yeah, because I'll say this now, like at 4, it would be nice if I could just get back to to modeling London. Okay. Where was I with this? Okay, number of cubes. Enemy type, that's the cube spawner. Enemy manager, amount to add. Okay, I think that makes sense. Let's do that. Oh shit. What did I change? You know, you change one little thing. Thanks for summing it up for me. I made a great investment with Untitled Chapter. I think you did. Man. If only people knew, man. If only people knew, like, how quickly, how simply they can get things up and running for such complex systems, you know. It's unfortunate that a lot of people just, yeah. Anyways, okay. What I kind of lost where I was in this. Cube manager, enemy manager, cube spawner. This still works, but I think the problem is number of enemies. That's what needs to be. Okay. Oops, and our cube needs a rigid body. And let's put the cube next to this. And let's move it over. Okay, so cubes go there, spheres go there. All right, kill 2 spheres. Oh. Oh, because now it's when I kill a sphere. Enemy manager, variable name, number of enemies. Number of spheres. Oh, I think it's just number of enemies. Oh, that's right, because it's just, it's supposed to be just this, the FSM name. Is it? Is that right? I don't know. You saw the system working back when it was working. I hope that helps. Sorry, I have to bail on this because I've already gone like half an hour over what I expected to. So that's the gist of the system. But honestly, I think maybe I'm going to talk to Alex on Monday, and maybe this is something that we could make a proper tutorial of. Because it's definitely like a good little mini tutorial that I think a lot of people could use. Like an infinite horde spawner kind of thing. An official tutorial would be cool. To remove the array, I call the node to call it remove it. My graph is implementing my own custom wave system. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. I actually had to like make the whole system and the removal and shit just to show how a wave system would work. Okay, but now to, where's my donate button? How do you have can I have a donate button? Is that a thing? Is that something I could set up? Let's see. Or maybe like YouTube donate button. It's a thanks button. I don't know. Oh, here we go. You know, I'll check that out later because that would be nice. That would actually help me out. That could be cool. Not today, but you know, if anybody's feeling thankful another time, then that'll be good. That's a good call. Let me grab my smoothie really quick. That's a good call. Thank you. All right, let's fucking finish London, man. Okay. Where are we with this? We have MI6 set up over here. I kind of wanted to change some of the trees in the park. What the fuck is this? Oh, I think this is old geometry. I think it's in my... Huh, that's weird. I'm just gonna delete it. Okay. And... All this is looking okay. And... Well, I need to put something over here. Okay, so I'll put... Excuse me. I'll put the other side of this river over here. Like that. And let's take this. I was about to donate, but it's missing. I really appreciate that. And hopefully next time I stream, I'll have that set up. And if you're feeling so inclined, then it would be appreciated then. But thanks for the thought. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so here is the other side of Thames, River Thames. So I want it to be kind of like, let's see, was it earth.google, and it's like THAMES. Let's see. No problem. Thank you. Here it is. Right when I spawn in. Right when I spawn in, I'm at the new MI6 building. So this is the new MI6 building. It looks okay. You know, it looks cool. It's pretty cool, I guess. But here's what I wanted to make. River Thames. And I don't... Is this Hyde Park? That's St. James Park. Regent's Park. Where's Hyde Park at? Hyde Park. Okay. So Hyde Park doesn't actually connect to River Thames. Maybe I shouldn't have it do that then, huh? Because it's more of just like a pond. Is that like... I mean, I have fucking MI6 next to... I already have Hyde Park next to... Canterbury? What the fuck? Why do I... Carnaby Street. Carnaby Street. This is supposed to be Carnaby Street. Got MI6 next to Carnaby Street, right next to this. So I guess, what does it matter if this was actually River Thames? It would help me too, because... let's see. So if I zoom in here, maybe... Is there any cool areas? Like, where's Big Ben? Okay, Big Ben's over here. Okay, so, you know, it could be this. This could kind of be it. This could be super fucking impressionistic. So I'll put... Wait, where the hell's Big Ben? Big Ben. That's Big Ben? What the fuck's going on here? Is it under construction right now? How old is that? Let's see. Put me on the street. That was smooth. Damn, go Google Earth. That was fucking crazy. That was so trippy. Okay. So what's going on with Big Ben? Yeah, they were doing something to Big Ben. What's up, Dio? Let's check in the news. Nothing unusual there, except, of course, there is, because it has been under scaffolding for some time now. River Thames not biologically dead. You know what I'm gonna do? Big Ben. Just give me this. 1843. When was it finished? It was around the 60s, right? Yeah. Of course it was. Okay. Big Ben, 1960s. See if there's anything that's standout-ish about it. What could be a good... Okay. Trying to find, like, if anybody... yeah. This kind of view. Then I would have to make a bridge. Maybe I could just do a... Let's try it. Fuck it. Here we go. So Big Ben will go here. Let's block this out, like, just mesh, cube, okay. This is Big Ben, right? Like that. Okay, that's Big Ben. Maybe something like this. And then you have, like, maybe it's further away, like this. That way it's extra just backgroundy. And then this can have something like that instead. And then bring this out. Okay. And then you'd have like a, maybe bring it in like this. And then from here or something, you do cube. Focus in. And I think it just kind of, what is that bridge like? That bridge is wide. It's made of 4 arches that eventually land there. So I think 2 is like, this would be taller. So it'd be like this. And then this could be, let's see, let's put, where are our boys at? Where are our boys? Where are my boys at? Shift S, selection cursor. Okay, so this is a person, and I guess that's about the size of the bridge. Okay, let's go like this, and then it goes up, across. So maybe I do 1, okay. So I think I do this, like, go all the way across, like that, and then I move it up, and then I take, I want to say, this bottom part, and I maybe Shift H, Control R, right click, right click, right click. So is that 4 segments? And I think I'd do maybe like this, and then, oh, like that, and like this. That, like that. Okay, and then Alt H, and then I can grab this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one, and extrude down into the water-ish. And then I could take, let me actually, there we go. Oops. This and this. Can I do multiple sides at a time, or will it bust my balls? Nice, I can do. Or actually, does that not want me to do that? Maybe it doesn't want me to do that. Huh, what kind of geometry is it creating there? Maybe if I just take this one and this one. Ah, so desu ne. Okay. Like that. Okay. Oops. Whoa. Okay, good enough. And it's a little wider. Or actually, it's just lower than that, huh? Lower and wider. So maybe it's like this and like that. Something like that. And I could put this, I guess that's about as close as it needs to get. Don't really know where that is going. Shit. That makes me wonder. So if I zoom out, and here's our bridge. It's actually more pieces than I thought. It does kind of slope, right? It kind of, Or that's suggesting that the land is much higher than the water in my game. Much higher. Because my shit it started off as a pond since we were only at... Maybe, let's get a little funky with it. I'm going to take some liberties here. I might even be able to hide it behind trees, but... let's see. Might be able to get away with something. Ay, ay, ay. Nah. I'll just hide it behind trees. Because we're not really supposed to fuck with it anyway. And then water. Put that across. Cool. Alright. And... might even be worth like something like that. And then Big Ben is to the left of it. It's like right at the end, huh? Okay. You know, this is just supposed to be decoration, so you see it out in the distance. And how big does Ben get? I have a friend named Ben. They call him Big Ben, if you know what I mean. Okay. Big Ben is like 1, 2, 3. The bridge is like 3 times the size of Big Ben. So one, 2, 3. So this could be a little bit bigger. Just a tad bit bigger. I guess let's go here first. Like that. Okay. That's looking more Big Ben-ish, right? All right. And then there's just these buildings. Is that Parliament or something, or what the fuck? What is this? Palace of Westminster. Should I just use flat stuff? Or I guess I could... Interesting. Okay. That's where the MPs argue. Yeah. Alright. Let's put in the argument building. Mesh cube. 0 in. And it's kind of like right up against Big Ben. Just right up on Biggie Benny's big old dingy dong. Ding dong goes Big Ben. Like this. And let's see. Gonna be real fast and loose with this. So it kind of comes out, right? So it's like extrude out like this, and then this can extrude like that. And then I think this is wider, and then it extrudes like this, and then one like this, one like that, and like this. Just the general shape of it. This. Same kind of deal. Ah. Okay. And this. All right. Very cool. Nobody's ever really gonna see the top of that shit, so fuck it. And it's kind of some shape in that, so I can, I guess, like subdivide, and then, oops, take these. What is the individual? There we go. That. Scale on y-axis. Okay. Extrude up like that. Too much. A little too much. Same thing with this. Oh, no. Okay. Is that enough detail? That's fine, right? What's MPs? MPs. PMs? PM. There's only one PM. What's an MP? Do we have that term in the States? Because I was thinking of PM earlier. But y'all only got one of those, right? Let's turn off this air conditioner. So if you're down here, this might be the view you see. Okay, cool. And then right here, we'll just put a few of these. So it's like cube, like this. And you can just do like this, scale it in. They're not even able to see that fucking shape, so I'll just do that. Okay. Ah, you know what? Okay. And this gets like a shifty, that's a scale, it's like smaller, and it's kind of like this, but like that. A little bit less so. right, and all right, just to give it some fidelity. I'm not sure if somebody will be able to see this. Just in case, just a little bit. And this is a very similar setup, except this one. You know what? These don't have to be perfect. I'm giving this way too much care. So there we go. That's good enough. And just put one more like that. And this one will just be a little smaller. Cool. And then we just put a bunch of trees around here. And I could pretty much just take these guys and Alt-D and put them like this. And Alt-D, put them like right here. G, Shift-Z. Okay, like this, and Alt-D, that should be pretty good. Yeah. And I could line the rest of this with trees. So if you're down here, let's see what the view looks like from right here. Oh, nope, don't want to be here. Let's go back out. How about right here? Can you put me here? Okay. Lots of trees and other buildings. Oh, that's going to suggest that this fucking Ferris wheel. Anyways. Fuck. All right. But I figure maybe a lot of these could probably even be billboards. Right? So I might even be able to get away with something like mesh, put a plane here. And then rotate on Y, X. Okay. Like this. Like that. Tony Hamilton is on lunch break. I'm actually getting kind of hungry too. The smoothie. There's a lot of limes in this smoothie, so it's not something I can keep smashing on. Woo! Oh man, it's good though. If all that acid wouldn't fuck me up, that lemon juice. Woo! I mean that lime juice. So you can put billboards of shit like right here. Probably. I don't know. We'll run some tests. We'll do some good stuff over here. All right, but let's focus on seeing how much we can obstruct the view. Rusty Chicken says, back, bro. I can go for a shake right now. Oh, shut the fuck up. No. It also dawned on me, like, only at the beginning of this year that, like, I live next to a Shake Shack. Oh, shit. I didn't know there was a Shake Shack so close to me. Definitely gonna get some Shake Shack when Annabelle comes in. Okay. Trees. Let's obstruct view with trees, because if I could obstruct a lot of view sort of locally, do all the stuff that is closer to our faces, then that would be great. And then I can kind of get a better idea of how much work I'm gonna have to do to kind of like fake all the shit out there, But this is a good start because, like, we should be able to get to the end of this walkway and stuff like that, or maybe even close. You should be able to at least get like right here. And this view from right here, I think, is good. Like, goddamn, slow down, my dude. There we go. This view right here, I think that's chill. I think kind of vaguely being able to see the bridge. I'll just put more trees like right here, but being able to see the bridge from like right here, Big Ben right there, all these other buildings and stuff. That's good because right along this edge over here, there's going to be more trees and you aren't going to be able to see most of that shit. And if I come over here, I think around here is where you would start sort of, this is the edge of the level where you can't go. Where you can go, but like the closer you get to this, your screen fades into the airport and it'll take you to the airport. So that's an edge. That's good to know. Same thing, I'll do that with it over there. And let's see. Over here, I'm going to make it so you can't turn this corner. So if you get to the edge right here, you'll get taken to the airport. And if you get to, basically you can't go past like this corner. I'm going to make it so you, like right around here, you'd get taken to the airport. That's good to know. So I'll just have to finish off this block, maybe put something over there, and then put another block right there. I can, for Shake, I will upload the video now. Okay. I thought about doing more than one hot bar, but since it's not a full-length RPG, I think 10 for getting to level 10 is good. I think that's okay. I don't play too many RPGs. I won't be the best guy to tell you, but that sounds fine. Trying to lose weight and living next to a Shake Shack is a bad combination. Oh yeah. I am officially in the worst shape of my life. My tummy is 38 inches around, which is the largest I've ever been. So I was like, all right, let's dial it back, Steven. Hey, you have to play this minigame when I am... You have to play this minigame when I am Steven. Hey, you have to play this minigame when I am Steven? Full of surprises? Huh? Wait, what? Rusty. English, my dude. My pigeon English isn't so good these days. Done. You have to play this game. Oh, when I'm done, Steven. What's the full of surprises part? Is the game full of surprises? Yeah. Yeah, I'm down. Very down to play. Okay, so I think that kind of tells me what my work is for today, right? And then inside, I have this all set up. This is the entrance to MI6. You know what might be worth checking out too? So I have all these Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy references. Let's see. So these are all proper inside the offices, but what does this little room look like? There's this thing. So it's cement stairs, wood railing, little wood box, white walls, very dull and boring. The entrance is wood. Okay, is there anything else that can inspire that? All wood. It could just be that way. I like this sort of egg, still creamy white, sort of an off-white. It's brick, painted brick. It's not as fancy like that. Aha, this is what I'm looking for. I could do that. That's nice. So brick interior. with this little white molding, white wood molding. That's us. That's going to be the look, I think. Is that appropriate? I don't know what this fucking room should look like. It's kind of just this, huh? Maybe it's closer to that. I think it's closer to this. Because you know what I'm thinking of whenever I think about this and even all the other agency buildings is like the Men in Black offices. The game is awesome. Nice. I think I'm going to make it a public release and give it away for free just to show it's really possible. Nice. Right on. Men in Black headquarters. These are all the super spacey ones, but where's like the dull headquarters, like the boring ones? There's kind of this. You kind of get some of these vibes. It's a little too futuristic. This stuff though. I love this kind of shit. There's some other stuff I've seen. Oh boy, you a CIA sci-fi guy? Am I a CIA sci-fi guy? I don't know what that means. I definitely want to restrain it. I don't want to go this full-blown Men in Black style. Okay. Yeah, I think it is. The answer is probably much closer to like one of these kind of things. Let me see. Yeah, stuff like that. This image is so washed out. It's hard to tell what even this room is. I guess it could look like this. You know what? Fuck it. Let's go with it. Let's just go with this. Yeah. All right. So let's fire up Photoshop. And am I just texturing shit right now? Is that all that's happening? Is it missing anything? Okay, I think that'll be wood stuff, maybe. What's up, Foreign Living the American Dream? How you doing? Okay, open recent, London textures. You know what? I cannot touch the smoothie anymore. My stomach's gonna die if I... Drinking that smoothie would really mean that like I consumed 2 whole limes, and that would not sit well with my stomach. Chilling, man. Building a master plan. Right on. I love that. Building a master plan. What's the master plan for? Shop fronts? Nope. Instead, we are gonna do MI6. Oops, meant to make it a group. MI6. Okay. And we're gonna pop in some. Let's see. Universal textures. I think painted brick. Yeah. Pop in this painted brick. Scale her up like that. And what are we looking at? We're looking at kind of like an eggshell white and a straight up cream. So I'll duplicate it. Come on. Servers, commerce, clothing line, website, and so on. Oh shit. That master plan is an empire. That is a fucking empire plan. What are we looking at here? It's like creamy, kind of eggshell whitish, like that. Yeah. And then I'll do like a color overlay. Boom, like this. And isn't there just, yeah, color. Nice. Okay, so there's that one. Then I'll copy that layer style, paste layer style, and this one though will be a little more towards the peachy side. A little peachier. What is, wait, what the fuck? Where does peach fall on that scale? Is it in pink? Isn't peach? That's not the same one, is it? Let's see. I think that's right. Yeah. Okay, right on. 30,000 in the making. Like 30 grand? Is it like dollars? Crafting systems are done. Pet system done. Righteous. Steven just tagged you on Discord with video. Right on. Me? 30,000 in the making. I'll call this one Peach Bricks, and this one is Off-White Bricks. Let's do Peach Bricks first. I guess I could just go in universal textures. Who knows when I'm going to use them. Peach Bricks and Off-White Bricks. Let's check out textures.com for some, is it molding? Or MOULDING? It's a little too fancy. When is it? Borders? Here we go. Give me something simple, Jack. Might take that. Yeah, I can't imagine them having anything like super simple in here. It's gotta be some crazy ornate shit. Maybe it's this. That is super simple. Nice. Really didn't expect that. If I can find a wood one. I mean, that's basically it, right? I don't think anybody's going to be like, that looks like stone. That doesn't look like wood. Cool. I like being out of options. I genuinely mean that. Take this one. Textures, universal textures, and let's see. I don't even need to edit it. It'll just be that. That's me, boy. The game I'm working on is the first time everything is made by me. No models from websites or textures. Ooh, it's exciting. It's a lot of work. Just me, Magic of Voxel, and Playmaker. Right on. Magic of Voxel does sound cool. I'm glad you're trying out something new. It's been a fun project for me to work on, a lot of fun, and I think with 3.5 days left in the challenge, I look like I'm going to win. Right on. Hell yeah. Okay, so I think I'm done with these. In Blender, let's just start slapping it on. Let's see. I guess I want it to be all these walls. Nope. What the fuck happened there? How come I can't? Weird. Is this not part of the same? Oh, it's not. Oh, shit. Okay. It's kind of weird. That's okay. That whole back wall maybe could be something else. Okay. So these, MI6 building, material, new material, call this peach bricks. And I'll do face maps as well. Call this MI6 lobby walls. And in here, I'll be able to just like do this too. Like this. Angle constraint. Ah. Okay. Oh. I'm making a white van that says free candy, and I have no intentions to release this project. It's simply me just fucking around with new tools. Cool. That's fun. And learning Playmaker. Cool. Cool. The free candy part, questionable, suspicious. Maybe even a little bit pretty shady, actually. Steven, I think, found a resolution for the Western I had started a while back. Just set it up and make it exactly like the RPG, except Western, not fantasy as well. Nice. Roasted Chicken Games is that Western style game. Yeah, and then after that, you could just like once you have the systems built, you could just start actually putting in like the content part, right? That's like the fun bits. Let's turn this off. Oh, nice, and I already have a, okay, cool. Let's see, I'm gonna select all this, and this. There we go. That's the bottom half of the, nice. Okay, and this will be bottom, lobby walls underscore bottom. And then I can have, let's see, this, and this create a new one, assign it to that, and this will be lobby walls underscore top. Okay. And then in materials, peach bricks, oops, peach image texture, open, universal textures, peach bricks. Which one was top? Okay, peach is on bottom. Let's create a new one. Off-white bricks. Scoozy. Universal textures, off-white bricks. Kind of green, huh? Well, we'll see how this goes. Peach is on top, so that one is assign. And then UV unwrap these mamma jammas. And let's put our boy in here. Where is he at? See, even that, I kind of feel like I fucked up on. Shit. I feel like that should be higher. I mean, lower. Let's just see how this goes. Yeah, it's kind of at their waistline. Whatever, let's just see how this goes. Okay, and then in here, we'll grab the bottom only. Or actually, deselect everything, and then select the bottom. In materials, we'll do off-white bricks, assign, UV unwrap, scale it up, match these bricks. Okay. Maybe make the top ones. There we go. I'm also going to make a convertible Lambo with a sunroof out of voxel. Right on. Is What a Western, the RPG? Just make all the systems, everything is public variables so I could change them in editor, and then just basically swap out visuals when genres change, right? Steven, there was one video that made me a part of this community. Huh? There's one video. What are you talking about? Made me a part of this community, a video, like a tutorial? And it was that video where you said you just bought Playmaker and you want to learn Unity, but you don't know where to start. That one. I know what you're talking about. That one where it's like, I show you all the resources and stuff. I know that video. Yeah, I'm glad to have you around making stuff in here. I can't wait to the day where you finish something, though. I want to see you make a whole thing. I know you finished Run, was it? I remember you put out like a game on the Google Play Store or something like that. I want to see how far you can take things. But I'm glad you're having fun doing all this other stuff right now too. I'm sure you're having lots of fun. It's cool too. What should I do about this molding? I think I'll bake it in here. Is this a bad idea? Maybe. Maybe. Cursor to selected. And then we're going to make cube. We're going to scale it down. And just gonna... It shouldn't be that thick. Holy Christ. Oh, nope. Let me actually also make a new molding, assign, and let's make it smaller. Oh, I don't really have a... It could be that tall, but it shouldn't be that thick. So the x-axis, and then on the y-axis. There we go. Now I can take these and I wish there was more extruding options. Don't want to do that either. Okay. Good enough. I'm busy, man. My childhood game was Far Cry 1 and 2. What was yours? Far Cry. You know, I've never played like more than 10 minutes of Far Cry. I've been really wanting to try the new Far Cry though. Far Cry 6, is that the one that's like in Havana or something? I've been kind of curious about that one. That sounds fun. When Far Cry is your childhood game, that's such a different lifestyle. What was my childhood game? I don't know. I had a lot of childhood games. I loved Earthbound as a kid. That's one of the trippiest games of all time. I've returned to it in adulthood many times. Yeah, Earthbound's always top of mind. What else? GoldenEye, Super Mario 64, Chameleon Twist. Chameleon Twist was a weird one. Really liked that game. Space Station Silicon Valley was a lot of fun. That had some really interesting systems in it because it was like you could pop out of characters and possess other characters. You're like this little microchip, and you can be a polar bear, and then you could go kill a fish, and then once the fish is dead, you could hop out of the polar bear, and you're this little microchip that walks around, and then you could put yourself inside of the fish, and now you're a fish and shit like that. Ocarina of Time was fun. That was also kind of one of those really inspiring world building ones. What else? Fucking sank tons of time into Counter-Strike. I know there's games I'm missing. Beetle Adventure Racing was really funny. I would have gut busters playing that game. It makes me laugh so hard. Cruisin' USA, Hot Wheels Turbo Racing. Really loved a lot of racing games as a kid. Jet Force Gemini was sick as fuck, and multiplayer was crazy fun if I can get my friends to play it, but nobody ever had it. Nobody ever really knew what it was. So it was like, I remember that was kind of hard to do. What else? These are all N64 games. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. When I had my PlayStation, I had a bunch of burn games. A bunch of just like... Driver was one of them. The Digimon game. One of the Digimon games. Like Digimon World or some shit. Dance Dance Revolution. Fuck, I miss Dance Dance Revolution. Fucking love Dance Dance Revolution. What else? Let me see what you guys said. I did Dio says I played Far Cry 3 and 4, but didn't stick with Far Cry 2. Tony Hamilton says BRB. It's crazy that there's so many Far Cries. Why didn't you stick around with Far Cry 2? I was 7 and I was fucking blowing up people with RPGs. Yeah, that was the same thing with with GTA for me. Because by time, yeah, I got the PS2 for GTA 3. Like I remember and I had what was it? State of Emergency, which is like a schlocky. It's not that fun of a game. It's really exploitative and kind of dumb. But I remember being like, oh my god, I'm like killing all these people in a mall. Wow. This is not cool, but it had like the warning sticker on it, which was such a like marketing ploy, you know, like warning, this game is fucking crazy. And it's just like, shut up. Yeah, GTA on PS2. Being a kid and blowing shit up with a rocket launcher is fun. My neighbor just let me play 18s. It's funny because you have like Peggy, huh? Peggy 18. What did we have? Don't we have like we have something else over here? Or do we have in the States? Maybe that's I feel like Peggy is the United Kingdom's rating system. I think we have something else. Rest Chicken says, okay, Steven, off to work on it some more. Probably get a new video up either tonight or tomorrow night. Have a good one, dude. Catch you later, my man. Thank you. And have fun building out the crazy RPG template game where you can drag and drop your art assets. Sounds fun. Because he didn't know what age ratings were. Right. Man, age ratings, ugh. My parents never batted an eye at any of that shit. It's just like, oh, he wants to play GTA. And I would show him, like, Mom, look, like, I'm fucking killing people. Look, I just paid that prostitute to sleep with me, and the car shakes, so that's like us fucking. And then she gets out and she leaves, and then all I have to do is shoot her, and I can get my money back. And everything, like, isn't that cool? See a 2SG. Dio says, with Far Cry 2, when you left an area after winning it and came back, the enemies came back. You know, it's like you made no progress. Right. Kind of like a Metroidvania. But with 3 onwards, it becomes your base. Makes a difference. Gotcha. That's interesting. I honestly don't care about age rating anymore. I've seen everything. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Let me get this molding in. This molding should have been done. I'll put it to like right up there and then right here. And this like that. Not the best way to do things, but fuck it, you know. Shit. Come on. Oh, I guess I should just G along X, Z, Y. There we go. Okay. Now let's put that shit on it. Actually, I'll delete all this first. Let's see. Faces. Okay. Faces. Oh boy. Faces. And fill these in. F. F. F, F, okay, Jesus Christ. Now let's get these boys going. Let's see what one side looks like first. Okay, so for this, I'm going to add in new material, call this white molding, assign it, and it's an image texture that I believe is also universal textures. This one, okay. And then I'm going to UV unwrap that shit. Scusi. Nope. Looks like I have to do one goddamn chunk at a time. That is super annoying. Oh, actually, it's not bad because it's going to scale like perfectly to the size, I think. Oh, nice, 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 nice. Cool, 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 cool. Cool. Guess not. Why the fuck? What? That is often my reaction to Blender. Why the fuck? What? Ah, so desu ne. Look at that shit. Look at that. It's not so perfect. It's not seamless. I'm gonna have to make it seamless in Photoshop later. It's good at a glance, right? But once you get in there, look at that seam. Okay, you know, and I don't even need to do it for all the other pieces. I mean, all the other sides of it. It just needs to be the outward facing part. So I wonder if I just grab these and then do cube projection. Nice, yes. The answer is absolutely. Okay. And then this one, white molding, assign. What are y'all saying? What are y'all saying? I've seen every. Oh, Frank Reynolds is in the chat. What's up, Frank? This message is helped review. My friend is showing me PM. Oh, porn. My friend showing me porn, and I'm freaking scared. You get bot accounts on TikTok that follow you, and they have scammy link in their bio. Oh, yeah. Same thing on YouTube. Like, you get these like weird porn links. Are you making an entire city? Absolutely not. No. I am not making an entire city. I'll show you in just a second, kind of like the idea. And you're directed to like a hookup site with naked women. Yeah. Yeah, I think he's replicating major cities from the 60s. I think that's right. That's a lot of work. This is hard work. Yeah, it is. But you know, to give you an idea though, let me just put this on here really quick. I have sort of made a conscious effort of like, let's see. Okay. Yes, actually, I dig that. I dig the two-tone bricks and the molding. It works. I fucks with it. Let's see. Where is outline selected? Where is it? Wireframe. Here we go. Okay. So yeah, the idea is I don't make the entire city. Like there's a lot of facades, right? This shit is easy to crank out. Like I cranked out like 3 of these in an hour one day, less than an hour. It's like you can really just like if there's nothing inside the building, if it's just facades, that's fine. You can crank those out. But the places like this is what, you know, takes me a longer time, because it's like honestly, I think where a lot of the work comes in is in the whole like making the thickness of a building, like literally this part where it's like the wall of a building actually has depth, right? And figuring out how to cut up geometry so it makes sense, where I can easily apply textures and everything like that on the inside and on the outside and on the middle chunk too, because that's like also often a different texture. Whereas when you're doing a facade, it doesn't matter. It's just the front. Like this is literally a picture from Google Maps that I just mapped on, and then I just do all this extruding and shit. And you can kind of get away with like you could just get away with fucking murder in here. You could do a lot of really janky shit, and it looks fine when you're just passing by it, you know? It's as long as you kind of suggest to the player that this isn't somewhere you can go in. They, you know, they can take a hint, and then there's other places that obviously it's like you look inside and it's like, okay, there's actually stuff inside there, and then you can go inside, and it telegraphs that information to the player differently. So for me, all I have to do is build a bunch of these phony facade things, which are super easy because, you know, there's nothing on the other side of that, you know, like I don't have to do anything inside here, and I can make less considerations about how to model it because it's pretty much just a box. And I don't have to worry about anything breaking on the inside because nobody is ever going to be inside of here. I can crank those out and then spend time on just a few places. So for each city, I have one living quarters type of place. So in London, it's all these apartments, these flats. So like, you know, I have a little entrance down here that I can go in and go up the stairwell. And then I can go into that apartment, and then go up to the second floor and go into that apartment or that apartment. But they're all the same fucking apartment. They're all the same layout. And so for me, the only difference that there will be is the furniture. So it'll still have all these walls and everything, and I can make those into a prefab in Unity. Just duplicate it. It's all the same setup. And then in Unity, I'll have it so whenever these rooms spawn, it just randomizes the furniture. So they have a little bit of variation, you know, like, okay, instead of a red couch, it's a blue one, or a different style of couch or whatever. So I only have to model a few different things per each of these rooms. But even the bathtub, like that'll stay the same. Toilet and stuff like that. The doors stay the same. All that is just like, you could just duplicate it. It's all like a prefab. It's templatized. So that's the living quarters in London. And then in DC, same thing, where it's a hotel. And that way I only have to model one room, and then I could duplicate it over and over again, but that's like several different places. So they all have their own living quarters, but it's in a way, it's kind of like building one place because I get to use the same room over and over. And then each city also has 2 sort of like public locations. So for London, we have the record shop. So here's the record shop. And then we have the pub. So here's the pub. And then they have one outdoor area. So for here, it's this park. I want to go as far as to say each city has their own park, and that's mainly what the outdoor area is. So each city, it's like you get basically like 4 main spots, and everything else is fake. And you can't go over here because when you get close to the edge over here, you get taken to the airport, which is basically kind of like your I was gonna say fast travel, but it's like your only way of travel. So when you want to leave a city, you start walking towards the areas that you're not allowed to go, and that takes you to an airport. So if I was in London right now, I would start walking either up this street or that street, or I can go to MI6 over here, right? But then if I go down this street, it'll take me to the airport. So kind of the edges of the map are like warp points. They warp you to the airport. And then from the airport, you get to just decide which city you want to go to. And every city follows the same formula. They're all sort of like their own little island. So it's like they all kind of look like this, right? They're all just like a little chunk of something floating out here. And even all that shit over there, like that's fake. You know, I'm not fake, but like, you know, it's like, it's just for show. And that's why it's super low poly. And it's why I'm just going to do some real slipshod, slapping some textures on it. Because you're not going to be able to go over there. So you can kind of get away with stuff like that. And in that way, you can give the illusion of a much bigger city, a much more rich, detail-filled city. While in reality, I only have like a few spots, you know? So, Steven, you are a busy man like me. Yeah, I'm busy man. You know what? That's going on the list of what is it? Where's my list of shirts that I want to make? One of them is going to be busy man. Mayoka's heavy. Looks sick, dude. Thank you. What's up, Mayoka's heavy? How you been? Frank Reynolds says, messing around with the smoke and volumetric fog for my scene. Fun stuff. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Volumetrics in general are fun to play with. Like particle systems and everything. I love that shit. How's that turning out, by the way? The plane scene you're making. Dio says, will you export the whole level into Unity? Yes. Yeah, so I export this whole thing. Once I'm done with it, I'll export it into Unity. And it'll look better. Like, I don't know if the link got taken down because I was playing music in it. I didn't really anticipate sharing it with anybody, so that's kind of like, you know, I didn't really care it got taken down. But there's this. Let me see. So like London, when I was first working on it, it looks like this. So this is in Unity with all of my post-processing and my lighting settings and everything dialed in closer to what the actual game's going to look like. Because in Blender, I'm just working on it and I could use my imagination all day, but this just looks so much cooler when it's actually in Unity and the lighting is good and the post-processing is set up. Also in Unity, stuff like this, all these record bins, you know, in Blender, I only have one setup, and that's because they're going to have interactable functionality. So in Unity, that's where I turn it into a prefab and actually duplicate it and fill out the scene and stuff like that. So for a lot of stuff in Blender, you'll kind of see like a bare bones version of it, because in Unity, that's where I'll actually be like duplicating things, like these record bins. That's why even one of the rooms in this apartment building is missing. So you go up the hall, but I think do I go in here? Or maybe I don't. Do I go in there? No, I go up the second floor. Yeah. Annabelle made this wallpaper. She drew it by hand, right? And there's a lot of detail in it if you get up really close. And then she took some chunk of it and then tiled it. And then I tile it. I think it looks great. What else? Yeah. I mean, sorry, I'm getting carried away looking at this because I just love how it turned out. It's like I can't fucking wait to put the rest of it in Unity. But yeah, this is basically what it's going to look like in the actual game. Because in Blender, you know, I'm tempted to put fancy lighting and rendering and shit, but it's just like, I got to focus on just getting it done, you know? You should have a phone system so you can call in vehicles. There is a phone system. There's already things that you could do with it, and there's so much more planned to do with the phones. I can't wait to do phones for multiplayer, because basically I want to have it so in game, if you're playing with other people and there's somebody on your team, or actually it could be doesn't even matter if they're on your team or not, but like you can call phones, you know? And so it would go into like you would get voice chat only on a phone call. I'm good looking at samplers on eBay. Oh, like sampler, like music machines. Right on. Do you do sampleism stuff? Is HDR? Is the Unity scene HDRP? It does look amazing. No, it's not actually. It's the standard or universal render pipeline, whatever the standard shit is. I ran a ton of tests for HDRP. But in the end, the thing that best suited me was actually all their standard shit. It does look amazing. Thank you. I'm stoked on it too. It's not going too bad. I'm remodeling the plane. I want to make it modular so I can have planes with varying degrees of damage. Wait. I see what you're saying. Right on. So you could put like more planes in the scene and kind of change them up. That's dope. So what? Let me see. Where are we at right now? 2.5 hours. Okay. Because I'm starting to get a headache. It's because I've been operating on smoothie only today. Let's finish texturing this room, and then I'll call it a day for the stream stuff at least. Let's finish texturing this room. So this room, this is wood. Let's take a look at there's this guy. Yeah. It's just kind of like that dark wood. Lacquered wood, where is... Nope. Polished wood. You know, I've downloaded so many fucking wood textures, it's insane, but quarter sawn lumber. That's kind of nice. I don't like those waves in it. Looking for a new wood texture that I haven't used. Fine wenge wood. I think this might be what I'm looking for. Let's do this. Universal textures. I'm gonna look for just a little bit more. Aged wood. I think I have aged wood, don't I? Yeah. Wood trim. I have this too. Take it easy, Steven. My laptop doesn't want me to play with volumetrics while watching the stream. Yeah, I hear you. Thanks for swinging by, man. Get her done. Sorry, I'm like leaning in too much. Gotta fix my posture. I'm probably tripping. I could probably just... Right, let's see what his looks like. Because I know his has some designy bits on it. A little bit, huh? Yeah. Substance designer, paneling. Yeah, let's search wood panel. kind of curious if I got something like this and I got the it's like I wish I can get the roughness and the ambient occlusion. I mean, I could, right? But let's see. I have this stuff already. I guess I could use some of this. All right, let's just put some fucking wood on this bitch. Wood, aged wood, dark. Okay. That looks okay. And then what I want is fence. Or like maybe even mesh. Could be glass. Like bulletproof glass. Should search mesh. Metal wire fence. Metal mesh. Gimme something. Yeah, here we go, getting closer. I guess I'm just gonna have to use this one. Shit. Damn. This is close. What else do I have to search for something like this? Grid. Screen. Metal fence. Might be it. Because I just want this like meshy kind of protective layer. Let's see. This one's seamless. I'm gonna get this one and hopefully I can just Photoshop that. Let's see. I want to say I could just, yeah, nice, okay. Ship it, bitch. Is that what it is? Save? Cancel you. Just export as ping. Mesh fence. Export as ping. Universal textures. Great. And then in here, select these faces, and we're gonna add a texture, call this one mesh fence. It's not perfect. Or actually, I guess I could change the scale of it. Let's see. Wait, where did it go? Ah. And then, oh yeah, I can. Nice. And then same thing down here. Cool. There we go. Yeah, that's actually exactly what I wanted. Nice. Fuck yeah. Okay. And this should be, what kind of metal is that? I think these are just black. Finished the van. Brilliant. Just cranking out cars. After 45 minutes. Not bad. It's just black, huh? Oh, I should use the wrought iron. Wrought iron. And I'll get all of that. Cube projection. Yeah, actually that's fine. And then same thing with this. Wrought iron. Okay. And I was thinking that maybe even this was for this. Yeah. Maybe these should be a little bit tinier. I mean, a little bit bigger. I kind of liked it when it was smaller. Let's see. Shit. Maybe like this, maybe a little in between. Yeah, I could dig that. Cool. And this should have glass panels on it. So I'll do like this. Ah, well, it should be bulletproof basically. If I ever wanted to make the glass panels break, it would have to be a separate thing. So, and usually I do. Usually I make the glass panels separate. That's too much detail. I'm just gonna, yeah, I'll just do this. I'll make all attendants completely invincible. Time to upload the model. Just sent you the Sketchfab link of the van. Right on. Awesome. I'll take a look at it when I go eat. Right when I'm done texturing this, I'm gonna go eat. I'll take a look at it. And it is nice having Sketchfab links just to kind of like, you know, look at it there in the browser. Your game is looking fire, by the way. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I am so stoked to drop like a complete version of London into Unity. Missed Screenshot Saturday again. Always bums me out. I always wish I could make Screenshot Saturday, and I rarely ever do. Maybe in the next couple weeks I could start posting. Cube projection, and we're gonna add a glass window to it. Sign. Cool. There we go. Got our bulletproof little box. Oh, the floor. Ooh, the floor. What kind of... Ooh, that's... Ooh, I'm excited. Okay, last finishing touch is the floor. And it's going to need some nice... MI6 would have some nice tiles. Let's see. What kind of floor would MI6 have? Not even necessarily nice, but I'm just excited about putting in. What kind of tiles would MI6 have? Do I get any in here? I feel like their tiles probably aren't nice in this. Do we ever get a shot of the floor? Ah, it's kind of like linoleum, very large. Should I just find linoleum? That could be cool. Actually, I kind of fuck with that. Let's linoleum. How do you spell it? Linoleum? It's kind of funny because that's basically the color of the floor, huh? Linoleum. Let's do it. Just that. It's just that fucking thing. Okay. Oh, it's gonna be go. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. Okay. New material. Linoleum. It's kind of like it's like a light red linoleum. Assign, and then its base color is an image texture, and it's in cube project. Make it super big, and I think that's it. Yeah. It's kind of hard to get too good of an idea, but I think that basically works. Oh, I need to put in that back wall too. I need to fix the seams on this. The turnstiles. The mesh, nice. So this guy can just sit in here and get shot at and be fine. Unless it's coming from back here, in which case he's fucked. Oops, why did that go all the way to the top? Okay. Okay, brain is shutting down. I think this is where I take it and I sign off. So thanks to everybody who swung by today. Hope you got some good info. I know at the top of the stream there was more Well, it's not more, just only Playmaker stuff. So if you want to see some of that wave spawner stuff as an official tutorial, let me know. I'm definitely going to bring that up to Alex. I think that could be a pretty good tutorial. And what else? John Giro says, good night. Like that. Oh, this kind of... I don't know what that is, but this is that. John Giro is in the chat. And whoever else is in the chat, thank you for swinging by. God, yeah. Every time, 2 days in a row now, I basically get to the point where my brain completely shuts down. So I'm going to go eat. And everybody take care of yourselves. Get plenty of rest. Drink lots of water. Don't eat too much. Don't eat too little. Spend time with the people you love, friends and family. Get in a phone call if you can. And get some exercise. Go for a walk. I went for a run today. That's probably also why I'm feeling suddenly very foggy. So where do is this me? Yeah. So thanks everybody swung by. You're welcome and agreed. Right on. All right, everybody. Have a very good night. Peace, peace, peace.